Oh my god, the game actually captured. Hello,
Hey
everyone.
yo.
Hello, Goosty. Hello, Rosie.
Hello.
Welcome on in,
Once in a blue
everyone.
moon.
We're
Once in a
back.
blue moon it actually happened.
We are back. It's good to be back. I missed you guys.
Yee.
Alright. I'm getting out of bed. Oh, the game's muted. Hold on. There we go.
But it actually happened though. That you didn't have to recapture or anything. And that feels
I know.
so rare.
I know. I switched scenes and it was working? What's up with that? I know. Okay. How are you guys doing? Hello.
He's good.
Oh.
Good. I am glad.
We vibing.
Do you guys want any of this jelly?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
I forgot I was gonna check with Marnie, see how much a goat was. Was it a goat we needed?
Goat.
Oh, a pig we need.
Oh yeah, for the truffles. My god, I have so many fridges in my house.
You are now the fridge store. You
I
sell
am.
all the fridges.
Yes.
You know that one commercial where it's like that dude's
I love
hot tubs and
refrigerators.
I
Is that
love
one?
refrigerators.
oh, I wasn't even referencing that one, but I forgot about it.
Ah.
It was like something barbecue and foot
Oh,
massage.
yeah, I do know that one.
It will be fridges, and then you need one other thing.
I have no idea.
The fridges one was a lot better. I completely forgot about that.
I love refrigerators.
I love refrigerators.
That one's so good. Rosie's got me.
It's something that I actually get for once.
Heck yeah.
I don't know if memes that well.
That's okay.
Is a rosy win. That's what matters.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hi, Iris. Welcome on in. Refrigerator. I hardly know her.
And psh. There's something behind the community center. Oh boy.
Oh right. The note.
Yee.
Oh, don't drink the mayonnaise.
You know you want to.
No.
Yummy mayo.
Time to remember how I organized everything.
Mood. Where are you
Oh,
at?
oh, it's so dark.
How do you get it? Do you just right click?
Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on, let me read it. It has a specific, Okay, so, behind the community center, hidden by the roof, against the wooden fence to the right, there is a stone Junimo statue, which can be obtained by a pickaxe or a hoe.
Huh.
I'm trying. I got it.
Yay!
Yeah.
Nice.
Is it only like one for farm, or is there one for each person?
Oh, let me check.
We could have a whole farm.
Know where you got it from.
You go right next to the fence at the end, go down, and then mine.
Oh, no, I don't think I got anything.
Oh.
It's okay. It's special that way.
Yeah.
I could have had a whole army, though. One day, we'll figure out how to duplicate it.
Duplication glitch.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, how are y'all doing today?
I slept for 12 hours, and yet I'm still tired.
Jumino.
Oof. The Eeper.
Jumino.
Oh.
I'm gonna move this down by one.
Okay. Jumino.
No.
It is 1 a.m. by the way. It is 1 a.m.
Oh.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
I stole the sprinkler.
It is okay. There's nothing
there,
there,
I got
so.
It. Hey, Doodle Dude, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well today.
Oh, hi, Doodle. Oh, yeah, I should probably go on my social medias and retweet that you're live.
Yeah,
Oh, right,
no
yeah.
worries. No worries.
There we go. Okay. Easy.
Oof.
We got it.
One more to reblog. Ah. Okay, there we go. My job is done.
Yippee! Hope you and the others are doing good too. I'm doing okay, yeah. I think we're all doing pretty okay today.
Yee.
High quality fertilizers unlocked. Yay!
Oh, we
Yippee.
need that. We need that for gold stuff.
Yep, we do.
Ooh, yeah.
It's my turn to go buy stuff. Goodbye.
Good
You can
luck.
do it.
Oh, I forgot we have sprinklers. Even though I just saw them last night. I was gonna go water the plants, and I'm like, wait.
There's the bucket.
I gotta remember how to play this game. Mooshell.
Mooshell.
Moshel! I forgot we had a cow.
Moo.
I forgot most everything. It's fine.
Oh, I did too. Don't you worry.
Whose gold is this up at the furnaces?
Oh! Might be mine. I have gold ore in my inventory.
Okay. I'll put it in your chest.
Yeah. I
Okay.
forgot our dinosaur goes outside.
Oh my god! He's so
They're
little!
traveling.
So little!
Look at him!
A little
Chat.
baby man.
Do you see? Oh, I just hit him with something. He's
No!
fine. Chat, do you see it? Oh, just a little guy.
Little baby man.
I got bonked. That's,
No!
you know what? I deserve that. For bonking the dinosaur, I deserve that.
Revenge.
Do you see it? Look at him. Look at the dinosaur. I'm trying to keep it in the circle. He's behind a tree now, though. Okay.
He's hiding because you hit him. How dare you?
You squished him.
I'm so sorry.
You can't smoosh his little brain like that. You have to ask for permission.
Hey, Retro, welcome on in. I guess my
Okay.
head pats aren't working, so I'll get you a free one.
Okay, important question.
What's up?
What did you get from the store like yesterday? Like what seeds?
I got parsnips, rice, and green beans.
Okay, so we do have green beans. Okay. So all I need to do is quality fertilizer. How many should I buy?
I don't know.
Let me see if I
Um,
have any. Because I think I might have some.
Marnie,
Okay.
please go behind the desk before you go. No, Marnie, please.
Okay, I have 20 quality fertilizer and 10 deluxe speed grow, apparently.
Okay.
And I am willing to give it to you.
Okay. What, like 15 be enough?
I'll give you all of them. I don't mind.
No, I mean me buying
Oh, gotcha.
fertilizer.
15 plus 20, probably.
Okay. I'll just buy 15 then.
Okay, I will put
Okay.
these in your chest as well.
Okay.
Do not
Yeah,
remember what I was
fine.
doing last time we played this.
Me neither.
I'm just like wandering around.
I don't either, and I even left myself a freaking sign. Like, is this what I wanted to do?
Farming? Yeah, we do be farming. Long time no see? Yeah, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. And I know the head pat's only 10 points, but it hasn't been working lately, so I just want to I don't know. Oh my
Is it working today?
no.
No.
Yeah, okay.
The bonk worked though, and usually if the head pats don't work, the bonk will also not work. So
Huh.
it is a mystery. And they only stop working when I go live. They work when I'm offline.
What
No,
do you use it
technical.
through?
Mix it up.
What do I use for mine? I completely forget, but I just use like a browser source through mine.
That's fair. Did you check?
Then
the
again, though, you
quest
do
log?
have the models, so.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, this is why I'm not doing my quests, Iris. It's because I have to reach level 25 in Skull Cavern.
Oof.
But yeah, I have it through VTube Studio for this model, and then just in OBS in with my 3D model. But they both go through Mix It Up, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
forgot that you have to. I forgot that you have to do it through something like that. I just use a browser source and just. Since I have a PNG tuber, it just stays still.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just way easier. You do this because Goose has prevented us from doing this to her?
What do you mean
What
I
is that?
prevented?
What does that
What do you
mean?
mean I prevent you? What did I prevent you from doing? Where's your evidence?
I'm scared. Oh.
I honestly do
Gators.
not remember.
Hydrate.
Oh, right.
Well, should
Well,
I?
you guys. Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, should I hydrate with coffee or water?
Wah wah.
Yeah, you're right. What were you gonna say, Goosty?
My Malo's redeemed hydrate like 30 times in a row in one go.
Oh my god.
So I had to up it to 1,000.
Oh my god.
I'm surprised you don't like have like a time limit thing.
Yeah, like a cooldown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it. And then my Malos did this. I need to change that. Because
Yeah,
I kind of forgot.
I have a cooldown so they can't like drown me.
Yeah, same.
Alright, I've got a hydrate and a stretch. I will do that once I catch this fish.
Please don't kill me.
Yeah,
Please.
I have a cooldown. Haha. Okay.
Take that, chat.
Yeah, take that, chat. I'm just kidding. Hydrated. Oh,
One more sludge? Yeah.
big stretch.
Robin is gonna be the death of me. Oh yeah, I have to like romance. I have to romance someone.
Weren't you going for Haley?
Maybe. Yes, I only have 3 hearts with her.
Nah.
Oh no. Different solution coming up. Oh boy.
Doodle doodle, no.
Big fear.
Oh yeah, there's new big things on the board. We could get
Oh.
George Leeks, or we can farm 100 bulbs of garlic.
100?
Those are both really hard.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
What the heck? Oh my god.
Wouldn't it be? Wait, how many days do we have for garlic?
For both of them, it's 27.
Oh, okay. So technically, we can farm all 100 things at once and be like consistent with it, or we do like roulette.
My vote is for leeks.
Okay,
But
So we do leeks.
I'm fine with leaks because I'm pretty sure you can go like you can get multiple in one sitting.
Yeah.
yeah, you mix it up, it cued the
Oh god.
redeeming a bunch at once and mix it up as queuing the redeems, so they're
Gosh
yeah.
dang it, Doodle Dude.
And Iris, they're
Gosh
teaming
dang it,
up.
Iris.
Iris.
Oh
Where
well.
is Robin right? Oh, never mind. I found Robin. Never mind. We're good.
Oh shit! I just got a sword and a mystery box from the ocean.
Hey.
Level 5
Okay.
sword.
Hey, let's
Oh,
go.
this is easy actually. I thought it would be like 50 leaks. It's not.
Nah, it's just like, how many? 12.
Well,
Oh, that's fine. 90,000 points to play with. Oh boy.
Doodle Dude. Or no, Iris.
I'm getting
I'm kind of not surprised that Iris is doing that.
it's making fishing extremely distracting.
No.
Good. Suffer.
it's very entertaining. Oops. Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, I got a dehydrator.
Are you
so
sure
we can
about
use
that?
for stuff now.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask about that, then I forgot.
You good. I think we were gonna make one at one point and then we kind of forgot. I'm not sure though.
Probably.
I honestly have no idea.
It feels like a bundle thing, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Why is there no leaks?
I have a leak. Do not worry. Do they grow at the train station?
Maybe. I know there's wild stuff there.
I shall look
Yeah.
there in a moment then.
I am
I'm
not
looking across
sure.
the pond.
Yippee.
Like the it like kind of just like blocks out the high fish stuff.
Yeah, it's like,
Dang it! Discord hates me. Right, there's no leaks over here, but there is a bunch of coal and resources across the bridge. If, like, anyone needs it.
okay. Thank you.
I keep forgetting it exists.
I need to smell one more gold. There we go.
Smell of gold?
Smell the gold.
Smell.
Mmm.
Sure.
Smells so
Smells
good.
so good.
Yummy gold.
Mm.
This is what the economy has
It was
drove us
smacked.
to. Alright, I have one leak. That is it.
It's fine. We have like 20 something days.
Okay. It is a gold one, though. I will say that.
Ooh.
We'll
He's
keep
gonna love
coping
that.
until it's the end of the month.
Cope.
Louis is going to get spoiled with gold-starred leaks. Or Louis, George.
Because for some reason, George likes leaks a lot.
The olden days.
Hatsune Miku moment.
Hatsune Miku!
Or like Hatsune Liku.
Ayo.
Got him.
Wait,
I
she's
know
le-
I know the reference that Goost is making. Matcha doesn't.
Oh.
It's the Sonic fan dub thing.
Oh.
A different
Hatsune
one.
Miku. Put me out of my misery, Hatsune Miku.
Mood.
Ooh, slime incubator.
Tapper. Happy noises, Tapper.
Hog. Oh, it is so
Eating
hot.
noises.
You're eating?
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell. Don't worry about it.
Hey, yo, mukbang.
Yeah, true.
Mukbang with Rosie Latana.
That makes me wildly uncomfortable, but sure.
Oh no.
Believe me, some friends I have say the same thing whenever I'm eating. I'm like, sorry if you hear me eating. They're like, no. Goosty mukbang.
Yeah. That feels very much like a rat thing.
Yes, it is. I'm glad you know who I was talking about there.
Yeah.
That was a pure guess, but yeah.
I love the little dinosaur. Just a little guy. Oh, his name's Pascal.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was their name. We
From
have a dino
Tangled.
egg. We have a dino egg.
Dino egg!
Dino egg.
Dino egg.
Oh my god.
What do we do with it?
Dino. Wait, hold on. Do we need to?
Yoink.
We're donating it. We need to donate it.
Okay.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Oh. Why did I think we already donated it?
I don't know. It's okay though.
I need to go
The
see
mayo in the chest.
mukbang.
I
Or
like I like how you guys like came there first to the shed, and then I'm the last one there, and then I just take it.
yeah.
It's like it's mine now. You guys were too late.
You called dibs.
Oh man. Nah, you're good.
Alright, now to find out how much a pig is.
Piggy.
Little oink oink.
I'm
And
so
if-
sad.
How come?
Oh, I was supposed to. I was supposed to dog sit today.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't end up dog sitting.
Oh.
So I was just really excited to see a dog.
Oh.
But- It's fine.
Yeah.
I will see a dog eventually.
Oh fuck, we can't get a pig. We need a deluxe barn.
Oh shit.
No. I guess I'm gonna work for supplies for that then.
Oh hi.
You're like carrying a cloud.
Yeah. I just caught Rosie digging through the trash.
No, you didn't.
I mean, what? Who said
Macho
that?
will remember that.
No.
Oh, she's chasing me.
No, I'm trying to bring this to not Demetrius, the other guy,
Must expose of witnesses.
the mustache guy, the doctor guy.
Harvey?
Yeah, because he likes coffee. He loves coffee.
Oh, mood.
Caffeine addict. Gosh dang it.
There you go. Okay. Out of my sight.
Be gone with thee. I like to think that you just threw a mug coffee in his face and left immediately.
I'm just like throws it at him. Never come into my sight again.
Oh, Doodle Dude, I missed that you were lurking. Sorry about that. Have a good lurk. You take care. Sorry, I'm distracted today.
I feel that.
Someone I used to
Yeah.
watch on YouTube used to call Harvey Dr. Boring.
No.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
He's doing his best, dang it.
I mean, it's true. When you romance them, literally, like, nothing happens.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Don't worry, he's got a lot of simps, I think.
Okay.
I probably angered all of them. It's fine.
I think he would count as a Tumblr sexy man in that sense.
Oh, you might be right.
What do I need for a deluxe barn?
I would imagine that Sebastian's more the Tumblr sexy man. But I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. I don't go on Tumblr a whole lot, so I may be wrong.
What's Tumblr?
What's Tumblr? Oh, oh my
Oh,
god,
God.
Rosie.
I feel old.
You can't do this to me. I made my first Tumblr account when I was 10 years old.
I did not do it like that young, but like I would go onto there. I just didn't have an account.
Yeah.
I didn't actually make one until I was like 18, I think.
Oh my god.
That's just because I was like, I want to try posting stuff now.
That's fair. I was deep into some fandoms that shall not be named.
Felt. Right,
I
200 stone.
16ish. Gotcha. Yeah, I was way too young when I joined Tumblr. Yeah, Rosie, Tumblr is like a blogging site.
Mm-hmm.
It's so unmarketable that they have the worst ads on it.
Oh.
The people on it just really make it hard to sell to advertisers.
Sounds like DeviantArt almost.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's
Yeah,
worse,
honestly.
DeviantArt or Tumblr? Because I was on DeviantArt instead.
I was also on DeviantArt.
Nah.
Well, DeviantArt's doing like AI shit now, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before all that change stuff happens, though.
yeah, I miss like how customizable social media was back then. Like
Mhm.
MySpace too.
God. I miss-
Inhales.
Left-leaning liberal 4chan. Oh my god, you're so right.
What? Forums?
Nah.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess it's time for me to clean the farm, since I need wood. Oh yeah, I forgot to check how much it costs for the barn, too. Whoops.
I can go do that. Well,
Isn't it like 10,000?
I'm not sure. Like, for a deluxe barn?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I would check on my phone, but I forgot I don't have a phone in the game yet.
you can get a phone in this game?
Yeah,
a
someone gives
phone?
it to you at some point.
No way.
Since when?
Since forever! Someone ends up giving it to you. I think it's Robin. And you
Oh.
can just... Even if the store is closed, you can just call in and be like, hey, how much is this? What do I need to do for this?
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea. That's crazy. Sometimes
yeah,
Stardew
Rosie
really does have it all.
sometimes Rosie's age makes me feel like I'm going through a midlife crisis.
You're welcome. I came that way.
Literally, I'm only 23 and I still feel old.
Oh.
Granny B is gonna come out because of this.
Oh, she's
Well,
not there.
that is working.
Goose baby, yes.
I'm not baby.
Sebastian. Tell me, are you a Tumblr sexy man? His little icon, it looks like he's seen some shit.
He's like, Tumblr, what's that? I have MySpace.
Oh, you're so right. Oh, we need to collect leeks still, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've
go
just
do
been
that.
fishing all day.
He looks like someone said something about shoelaces. Yeah, that's the look I give them when they're like, hey, I like your shoelaces.
Do people compliment shoelaces?
Is that a thing?
You don't know the Tumblr thing?
No.
Oh.
It's a like old Tumblr thing where Goose. An old Tumblr thing is if you think you see another Tumblr user in public, you're supposed to say, "Hey, I like your shoelaces." And if they are a Tumblr user, they say, "Thanks, I stole them from the president."
Where did
And-
this come from?
I don't know, some like quirky 14-year-olds on Tumblr.
Those were the days.
I know. Oh, that's funny.
Today I learned.
Yes, you
Yeah.
have. Man, I miss
About shoelaces.
I miss when like 14-year-olds were like that though. And
Yeah.
now they are just all over the place.
Yeah, the Reddit thing is pretty cringe.
Mm-hmm.
The narwhal bacons at midnight. Shut the hell up.
Narwhal. What?
The narwhal bacons at midnight.
The only thing I know about narwhals is like narwhals swimming in the ocean,
Oh, yeah,
making
oh,
a
yeah.
commotion because they are so awesome. I remember seeing it on cable TV as a commercial song.
That was a good one. Whew. Oh, hi.
Hi.
God.
I'm
Knees
looking for
weak.
leaks.
Oh, you already searched this area?
Yeah, but I can't really see anything. You have a light, so
Oh, yeah, fair. I would probably do like a better search.
yeah.
Like thorough search.
I need mom's spaghetti.
Oh, you know what you can do, Matcha?
What?
There might be some in like the secret
Oh,
forest
yeah.
area.
I'll go check there. Thank you.
Mhm.
Need to do an old meme roundup with these two? Yeah, apparently. That'd be entertaining.
We teach you the new stuff. You teach us the old stuff.
Yeah. I don't understand new memes. Oh, I can't
I
see
don't
anything.
either. I'll learn with you. Rosie will be our new expert then.
Yeah.
Don't ask me. I was like the last one in my grade to know memes.
No.
I need to make a glow ring. I can't see anything.
Let me see. Can I make one?
I think I can.
5 solar essence and 5 iron bars.
I think I have that.
I think I do too if you don't have it.
I'm almost home. I'll take a peek.
Hey.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Hey.
Thank you though.
Okay.
Me. Slowly crawling to bed. My knees. My knees.
Mood.
Oh yeah, you know what? Since I have the poll going on, oatmeal cream pies, yes or no?
I was
Um,
I was confused about that. I have no idea what they are.
They're like
No, Rosie.
the little Debbie snacks.
Yes, the Debbie snacks.
They're okay. They're not my favorite.
All right, I'll take that answer.
How,
Let me find an image. They are. Oh,
how do you feel about them, Goosty?
I love them. I don't have them as much as I used to, but like, there's every once in a while if I'm like at some building and I need a little snack and there's a vending machine. I see oatmeal
Uh,
cream pie. I'm like, yep, that's an automatic get.
That's fair. I don't
Those
really
are
like.
oatmeal cream. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I don't really like the icing, but the cookie is decent.
You don't like the cream?
No,
No.
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, I sent an image in the chat, Rosie, and that's what an oatmeal cream pie is.
Oh wait, I've had those.
What do you think of them?
Oh boy, it's been a while. I think if I remember right, I liked them. I liked them. I liked like more the cookie though.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't blame you. I like the mix of them both. I like cream pies. I'm gonna smack you if I'm thinking what you think and you're thinking.
TOS.
Literally, the first two people were thinking it a different way. I'm like, gosh dang it! Get your mind out of the gutter.
Me when I first saw it.
Oh,
More mayo for you too.
Carrots.
Iris also likes the oatmeal cream pies.
Good. Good.
How do you guys feel about those like sugar cookies that you get at like Walmart that are like really soft and they have that really sweet icing, the sprinkles?
Like the pink icing on top,
Yeah.
you know? I
Yeah.
love
I
them.
love those.
Rosie, how do you feel about them?
I love those. They're so good.
They are so good.
Like, I don't seek them out, but if they're like at a family event, you know I'm gonna try to have them all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
I'll get them if I'm like, oh, I haven't in a long time, but at the grocery store and they're like on clearance or something. It's like, oh,
Yes. Get them, Iris. Get them.
yeah, get the cookies. What are they even
Treat
called?
yourself. I don't know.
I'm glad that they exist in Canada and America.
Heck yeah. Add them to your throne, Iris.
Iced sugar cookies? I guess so.
Are
Yeah,
you here, old man? Let me
Hey,
marry my wife.
they're probably on Amazon.
Ah, he's here.
What?
Oh,
What?
He's here.
he's here?
Concerned noise?
Oh,
He's
is it
here.
the mermaid pendant guy?
He's here.
He's here.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think I want to eat cookies from Amazon. You know what? Understandable.
Fair. Fair.
Yeah, getting food through Amazon seems kind of sus.
Yeah.
I hate using that word, but
Did you know that apparently you
Oh!
can get like bread and stuff through Ghost?
I'm engaged.
Congratulations.
Yay!
Goosty just got engaged to Emily. I know my logo is covering that up on
Yeah.
screen.
I'm no longer single.
Let's go.
No longer sing Ghost.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Rosie? We got distracted.
Oh, what was I saying?
About like bread?
Oh, right. Apparently you can get bread through like Etsy.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh yeah. There's also like edible dirt. That's a thing. Oh hi.
What? Hi.
Huh?
Yeah, edible dirt is a thing.
Oh.
Or like they make something edible and you can have it. It's like
Do you mean it's like chocolate? Like
no, like it's literal dirt.
oh.
It's like something whenever like pregnant people might crave it.
Oh.
They
Oh,
sell it through there.
so it's just like safe to eat?
I think so. Or like it's some kind of ground material. It might be sand. I'm not sure.
That's so
Rocks
wild.
even? Yeah, I remember seeing it pop up one time and I haven't been able to find it since.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Today is Kent's birthday. What is he like? Let me,
The fiddle horn?
I don't know if I have that.
It's like some kind of fiddle horn meal that you have to cook.
I'm opening the wiki. I'm searching for Kent. Ba, 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 ba. you're right. The fiddlehead risotto. And roasted hazelnuts.
Oh yeah, that too.
He
I remember
likes
because his was the.
he likes the daffodil too.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect time to get them then.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's like in season.
Um
Wait, why am I going mining? I have a jade at home.
I'll
It's
give him
fresher.
some jelly.
Fresh jade, fresh off the rock.
Yummy.
Only way I'll have my jades.
Choo choo.
I was literally just about to say the same thing.
Poob. Alright, Kent, where are you, buddy? There you are. You're Kent, right? Are you friends with my son?
That
No, not
sounds so
really.
menacing.
That sounds so weird.
First thing he said when I walked up to him. Are you friends with my son? I don't know.
I want you to meet my parents.
No, 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 no.
Where's Abigail? Where's Abigail?
I almost died, but we're good.
Oh no.
Live, Rosie, live. I forget what I was saving up for. Now I'm gonna buy this deluxe pack,
Oh.
though.
You didn't have that? That's crazy.
No. I'm probably gonna regret it next time we play this, but...
It's
Does
fine.
Does anyone know where Abigail is?
Let me check the map. She is at the general store.
That's it! Abigail!
Deluxe pack is always worth it. True. I agree.
Wait, please don't tell me the store's closed.
Oh
I
no.
can still go in.
Run.
I am. No, I'm not friends with her! Ah!
No. Blocked and reported.
Ah! I guess I'll look for leaks.
Did something happen? As in, like, I thought something happened in Twitch chat. I was like, what happened?
Everything happened.
Yeah.
Everything.
I wouldn't be shocked.
All the redeems went off at once
Yeah.
and the stream exploded.
Yeah, OBS. No, honestly, I'm surprised that OBS hasn't done that thing where it... Oh! I died.
No!
Do you guys both use OBS?
I do.
Does yours ever do that thing where it, like, sends you a notification where it's like, OBS has crashed, but if you don't close the notification, OBS won't crash? And you can just keep streaming? Does that happen to you guys?
No?
Okay.
No. Happened to me, but I have had it be like, oh, it didn't shut down properly.
Oh,
Run
yeah.
in safe mode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been doing that to me so much lately. I don't know why.
It happens to you too, Iris? Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Canada thing.
OBS cannot handle it.
OBS is so silly. Have a good lurk, Iris. Thank you for stopping by, friend. I appreciate it.
OBS
Silly little
can
soft.
handle Canada.
Silly little software.
What did you say, Rosie?
OBS can't handle Canada.
It's true.
Oh, no.
What
Very
is
true.
this? What? Whoa!
Huh?
Whoa! What the? What is this?
What are you
What?
looking at?
Okay, so you know how like the mine, there's like bottom levels and there's like fire and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just like go to a level and there's like it's like all gray and there's like skulls and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's like the same as the area you get the golden scythe from. Sometimes that happens.
Oh, spooky.
Never happened to me before. I got so worried.
That's so funny.
It felt so creepypasta-ish.
Yeah. We got the creepypasta Stardew Valley tonight. I forgot to warn you guys.
I went mining in Stardew. I was in a gray area. I went to the end, and there was Clint with blood coming down out of his eyes.
Sorry, what? Babe? True.
So true. Rain. Life elixir, oil of garlic, apparently. You want an oil of garlic?
Hmm?
You want an oil of garlic?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
I think we have to get something in order to make that. I don't remember what, though.
You can buy it.
Yeah. I think you could also make it, though. I just don't remember what farm equipment it was.
Mm.
Ooh, okay. Oh, I keep forgetting to look for leaks.
Oh yeah.
God
It's
dang it.
fine. It's
It's
fine.
fine.
We have more than 20 days.
Yeah.
Poor George, not gonna get his leak fix. How's he gonna meet Hatsune Miku at this rate?
No.
That's his one wish in life. We have to grant it to him.
You're so right.
Before he
Man.
dies, he has to meet Hatsune Miku.
I
Me-
feel so bad now.
No.
You should be.
Wee.
Oh.
No.
You good? Oh no. What happened?
Hold on.
It was too much for Rosie to handle. She can't disappoint George.
I just left. No.
Oh, welcome back.
Computer was just like, nope.
Oof.
Did you at least keep all your stuff?
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright,
that's
good.
good.
Oh no. One of my models shared something with me.
Oh.
Now I want it. I watched a Toki Life documentary fan thing. It was talking about the Spheels, how cute they were, and I forgot that this Spheal exists.
Oh. They're so cute.
Oh my god. It's a giant spheal.
Why are you in my house?
Oh.
Why were you in my house? How'd
Y'all-
you get in my house?
Y'all have a sleepover?
It's Rosie's house now.
Parsnips are ready to harvest.
Ooh!
I was worried that I wasn't able to go to my house on time because I got kicked out.
Ah, okay.
We have
Yeah.
one gold parsnip.
Alright, time to go to the store.
Gosh dang it, this Pierre's fault.
Where do we want the gold parsnip? In the purple chest?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god, sorry about the note block. Okay.
Just forever goes off.
I didn't know it would do that.
I am so glad I put the note block there.
It keeps jump scaring me.
Good.
Ooh, jump scare.
Yes.
Seaweed. I might have seaweed, but I don't know.
Wait, what do you need seaweed for?
Quest.
Ah. Oh, you're probably standing right outside the store right now, that's why.
Mm-hmm. I'm literally just eating while I'm waiting.
He's about to unlock the store, you're just sitting in front of the door, eating like a breadstick or something. Hi, Pierre. Best
Hello,
part is the
Pierre.
breadsticks out of the trash.
Yeah.
Hello, trader, what do you have? You have a parsnip seed. Right? No.
Give me all your parsnips.
Anything
Oh.
good?
Okay.
Not really.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, when does a poppy grow? Does it grow this season?
The what? Sorry.
A poppy.
Oh.
I think it's a summer thing.
I'm not
Eh.
sure.
Hold on, let me check. I have the wiki open so I can just check.
Hey.
Poppy.
I'm gonna look for
It
leaks.
is. Yeah, it's a summer thing.
Dang it! Maybe the trader will sell it before the season is over.
Do we have trader today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There isn't really anything there though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing good.
Okay. I need to put the fertilizer down. Because that would be bad if I forget about that.
Go, Rosie, go. Go, Rosie, go.
Thank you.
Please be out of your room, Abigail. Yes, you're in the kitchen. Take the jade. Jade.
Secret note. A page from Abigail's diary.
Oh boy.
Why did the slime have that?
You never know. Slimes are silly like that. From one slime to another.
You know what? That's fair. Oh shit. Another secret note from a slime.
Dang, they're just really eating everyone's diaries.
It's a note from Haley and Emily's mom and dad to them. Weird.
Hey.
The slime is Haley. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
She's secretly a slime girl.
Like from Amori. The slime
Hello?
girls.
Are those bonus points for you, Rosie?
In what way? Oh
What-
wait, yeah, I know what you
you-
mean. I know what you mean.
What do you mean, what way?
I'm sorry. I
Gosh dang it,
don't.
Rosie, no.
Well, I'm only picking Haley because Haley is like the easiest to romance, and I have to romance somebody. So it's like,
Alright, understandable.
Hi Zonko, welcome on in, friend. I hope you're doing well. I'm looking for leaks, and I'm not finding any leaks.
you remembered this time.
I did. I went to the secret woods and everything. But
Huh.
I'm not finding any leaks. What the hell?
Did you go to this train station?
No, I haven't.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'm in the mine, so I might as well.
Okay. I'm like down near the hat mouse.
Yeah, you're far away. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, how you doing, Zonko? It's good to see you, friend.
No, I forgot you spit fire.
Oh no.
I just want Moolah. Please let me kill you.
Unknown crop ready to harvest. I just found a
What?
Hmm?
Huh?
What?
I just found a bunch of crops planted in the woods and it says unknown crop ready to harvest.
Oh, that's a spring onion.
Oh yeah.
They just exist.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're for.
I'm
They're
taking
just
all of them.
there.
Just like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Listen, I didn't click on them. Doing okay? You're fed? I'm glad to hear it. Very glad. I'm also okay. I'm having a good time. My tummy's a little upset though.
No. I swear to God, I'm gonna murder my mic. I swear, if it's connected to the wrong input,
I'm scared.
no, it's connected to the right input. For some reason, these last few times, because I'm finally using my game capture, these last few times it switches like my input, and it just gets the noise from my PC itself instead.
Huh.
Oh.
It's really weird. It did it for my Discord. It also did it for my PNG tuber, which I wondered for multiple days why the heck it was not talking when I was talking.
That's so weird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Robin needs seaweed apparently. But yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. It is what it is. So long as I know that was the issue, I'm good.
Mhm.
Bats.
Bats?
Bats.
Bats.
Bats. Or bats. Where are the bats? We fly at night. We eat at night. Where are the bats? Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God.
Bats? Yeah. Yeah, we playing Fallout now.
Ugh.
Mood.
I almost died. But then I
Uh-oh.
lived.
Oh, that's good. Ooh, we've already been going for an hour. That's crazy.
Dang. 24-hour Stardew stream.
Hey, let's go.
Meow meow.
I've been looking for leaks all day and I have not found a single leak. What's up with
Dang.
that?
The heckin' economy is caught up with us.
Yeah, the leak economy. It's in shambles.
Can't believe this. SMH. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
No worries. How are you doing, Rosie?
What?
How are you doing?
Good. I might have to take some kind of like pain medicine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Do you think we should end soon?
No, it's okay. It's not like I don't know how to describe it.
That's okay. I got a fucking bot in my channel.
I'll put it in the Discord.
Okay. Ah, I gotcha. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, if you need us to end soon, that's okay. Cause my
Why did
tummy's feeling weird. Pardon?
Sorry, I was wondering to myself why my points went away.
You're what? Sorry?
It like goes away. It's like when I watch you sometimes, like my points just go away. It's not there anymore.
Oh. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Alright.
wanted the bounce though.
Hey, there I go.
Bouncy.
Bouncy.
Alrighty. Goosty, do you have any preference on how long we go for tonight?
No. Honestly, I don't care how long we go for.
Okay. Cause like, yeah, my stomach's feeling kind of weird. And Rosie said she might need some painkillers soon.
Alright. We can make this the last one or we can do one more day then. It's up to you two.
I'm fine with one more day, but Rosie, if you need to end, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I'll just go get pain medicine real quickly.
Okay, no worries.
Hey.
Okay, I'm gonna mute. We'll be right back.
No worries. New crafting recipe. Lightning
Yo.
rod. Lightning rod,
Yo.
beach warp totem, and wild seeds fall.
We can try to get a battery now.
Yes.
I don't know what we need it for right now, but it's ready.
I'll see if I can craft something. Your pomegranate tree wasn't able to grow.
No.
Not
Wait,
the.
which one's
I have
which one's
no clue.
pomegranate? Oh, this
Ooh.
one. I guessed right. You go right here.
Do we
I
have
think
a
that's-
geode crusher?
I don't think we do, but I think we got the recipe for it. One
Yeah,
of us did anyway.
I can make one. Do you want me to?
Yeah. I'll
Done.
take care of the animals.
And should I make some lightning rods?
Yee. Just in case we need it.
I made 3.
Heck yeah.
All right. Let me put them. I have mail.
Man, our bats aren't giving us any fruit here lately.
I'm gonna have a chat with them.
Gotta put the foot down.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Gotta step it
Step
up.
it up.
Yeah.
Exactly. We ain't letting you live on the farm for nothing.
All right. I'll just put them like down here somewhere.
Hey.
I'll put them by this pond.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
apricot.
Apricot. Alright, I'm gonna go look for leaks again.
Okay.
Oh, I already took care of the chimkins. Did
Okay.
I see one of you go in there?
Me?
I thought I saw one of you go into the chicken coop.
Not me.
The goose is seeing things.
I might
Oh,
have.
no.
I forget.
The barn is haunted.
It's another part of the creepypasta mod.
Oh god.
It was Herobrine.
It's because of George. We aren't getting his leaks.
Oh no,
He's angry with us.
I'm looking for them.
I have 2 right now.
I still have 0.
No.
Oh no.
Rosie.
I'm gonna mine you. Wait. I just shut down. Hold on. You can sit on the bench. Let's
Yeah.
mine you.
I
Mine
think you
you.
can. I think
Mine
you
you.
can swing as well.
Mine you. My. My.
You could do it, Rosie. I believe in you.
Hold on. No! What there was like lag.
Gotta upgrade the pickaxe.
I have to diamond. I have to upgrade it to obsidian before I can even think about it.
Alright, I got a total of 2 leaks.
We have
Let's
4 now in
go.
total. So yay!
Yay.
Yay!
Great job, everyone.
We're suffering, but we're fine.
The farm's not doing so well this year.
It's only been like 6 days since the start of the year, but we're not doing.
We
Oh
have
god.
plenty of time.
When crippling debt.
No.
We owe Linus a lot of money. Which is ironic. Treasure. I got
Treasure.
treasure. I don't think the treasure chest gives you much, does it?
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Wait, is it randomized?
Like the treasure chest item?
Yeah.
Let me look it
Yeah.
up. I have the wiki open.
Sometimes you get like dinosaur eggs from it, I think.
Wait, how do you get dinosaur eggs from it?
Oh wait. Do you mean fishing treasure chest or do you mean
Like the item treasure chest.
You can sell it for 5,000.
Selling it.
the item treasure chest? Oh. I thought you were meaning like when you're fishing and you get treasure chest, you're like, is it
Nah.
randomized? And I'm like, yeah.
Updating my sign for next time.
Good
Just in
idea.
case. So
I need
otherwise
to
I'm
get like a sign.
do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Brilliant.
I never
Goose is
thought-
full of brilliant ideas.
I never thought I would use a sign in Stardew, honestly. But here I
Yeah.
am.
We kind of need it, but it's fine.
Next time I should really just go fishing. Wait, where
I
is my
still like the cat with a hat.
I hate this weapon that I have right now.
the cat in the hat?
The
Oh
little
my
cat
God.
hat.
The Cat in the Hat is here? Oh my god.
Cat
What?
in the hat.
I'm such a big fan.
Cat in the sombrero.
El Gato en el Sombrero.
I was about to make that joke.
I have no idea if that makes grammatical sense, though.
I think so.
Now it is El Sombrero and El Gato.
No!
See-
Actually, that makes it worse. Never mind.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
so much worse.
Oh, no.
Wait,
Gotta
I'm
take-
confused. How do you make a sign?
25 wood.
Oh, I did the wrong one. I made a wood sign.
Oh, no.
Ah.
Okay. We're just gonna put it in front of the chicken coop then. It's home now.
It is okay. You are one step ahead for when we get massive crop. And we assign things. Either that or if you get Lewis's underwear, you can put it on there.
True.
I can't?
Yes, you can.
I'ma do that.
Do you still have his underwear?
No.
Oh, no. Tragedy.
Did everyone give him back his underwear?
Unfortunately.
I think so.
It's okay. We
Aw,
can get
man.
his statue and put it on the sign instead.
The consequences.
I guess we gotta restart the save.
Gosh
Yeah.
dang it.
Wait, you know
The
what? Hold on.
consequences of doing right.
If you guys want me to cheat, I can cheat them in.
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many pairs?
Yes.
Wait. Do you see it? Look at me, I'm cheating. Oh, what are they called? Purple shorts? Oh
Boxers?
yeah. Are they the lucky purple shorts?
Yes. Or no, they're I think they're just the very first one.
Yeah, the lucky purple
Yeah,
shorts.
the first one. The first
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
This
Here's one.
one?
It's the first one.
999 pairs to
Oh,
suffice.
you want all of them?
999 pairs.
If you insist.
Pig.
Yeah, we gotta upgrade the barn.
Green bean. Golden turnips. Yes. Okay.
Fiddlehorn, I think we have to get that through the Skull Cavern. And hope we get a dino level.
Hold on. I felt like I read somewhere where you get in the secret forest thing. I might be wrong about that. That might be like a seasonal thing.
I think it does, but I think it's during the summer.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. I was wondering if it was like spring or summer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check real quick.
Or you can roll the dice. Go to the dino levels in the Skull Cavern.
Ew,
Oh.
dino levels.
Oh, scary.
How dare you? I have to cover up Pascal's ears now. His little ear
No.
holes.
Poor
Look,
Pascal.
Pascal is different.
He's also a dinosaur, though.
Built
Pascal
different.
is the good dinosaur. The other dinosaurs.
Oh god, don't talk about the good dinosaur.
Yeah, it's copyrighted. I'm just
Not
kidding.
that
Is it?
movie. That movie
Wait,
sucks.
it's a movie?
Yeah,
Yes, it's a movie.
Disney movie, I think.
Yeah,
How
by
old is it?
Pixar.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty young.
Yeah, it's not that
Oh.
old.
Oh.
From what I heard, though, it's a really, really bad movie.
Yeah, it's not
Uh,
the best.
Oh wait, yeah, because there was like the big like green dinosaur thing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I know what you're talking about now.
our dinosaur is the better dinosaur. We're gonna come out with a
Yeah.
better movie, all about Pascal.
Yeah.
Not related to Pascal from Tangled, by the way.
No.
In
Yeah.
case of Disney lawsuits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, Disney, no, it's not the same one.
We're gonna
It's
find
different.
a way.
You can't trademark Pascal.
No.
Yeah. How dare they?
Pascal's our pet.
Exactly.
Oh, I should go home.
Going home. I'm going home.
I have gifts for you guys.
Ooh.
Gifts?
Yes.
Present us. I don't think that's a word for gifts. I don't remember anything from Spanish.
I'll just put them in your chests.
Regalo? Something like that? Is that clock? Hold on. Let me. Okay. Guess. Regalo. Gift
Got
in Spanish.
There you go.
I was
regalo.
right.
It was
I'm
regalo.
learning. Uh-huh.
Dang,
How do I pronounce it?
that's so many purple shorts. Oh my god.
I know.
We're
I
rich,
am-
Rosie.
Concerned? Just concerned noise?
We're rich. Don't be
Wait.
concerned, we're rich.
Let's watch his chest. Oh. Wow. Thank you.
You're so
We'll
welcome.
live forever.
It's my favorite. Okay. Now I can finally do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I love cheating.
The only
Sorry.
good time to cheat for
Yeah.
underwear.
I'm sorry. It's so great how this like underwear
wonder-
side in front of Coop.
Can you put them on?
Wait.
Hmm.
Wait.
Oh yeah, Rosie, you should probably go to bed. It's 1:40.
Oh no. Oh shit. Good
You
job.
did it.
Yay!
Ooh.
All right. How are you guys feeling?
Still hurt.
Yeah, you think we should end?
Probably.
Okay.
Hmm.
Sounds good.
I do want to see first though if we could put on the shorts.
Yes. Oh no, you're
wait,
getting
wait,
married.
Yay!
Marriage, wife.
Ah,
This is what I wear to my wedding: a baseball cap and overalls, just as Emily would want. I love you, wife. Kiss me. Smooch. Mwah. Mwah.
aw. It's a
Why are you
perfect way
dancing,
to end.
Marnie? I didn't say you could dance, Marnie.
Yippee!
Oh yeah, what animal is Emily
Uh,
on your resource pack?
she's like a calico cat, I think.
Cat girl. I married a cat girl. Let's go.
I know, she's so cute, honestly.
Let's go. I won, gamers. I
All right.
won.
You did. You won Stardew Valley.
Yeah. Bi-weekly gaming sessions over.
Yep, we're done.
Can I put these on? Please.
You're so
yeah.
weird.
I need to see if
I'm taking off everything. I can't put it on.
oh my god, where
This is a sad day.
no, that
I
is
can't put
tragic.
them on.
But you know what's beautiful though?
At least I could hold them around.
The
Yeah.
sign. Yes.
Hold on, picture. We need picture. We need picture.
We all need underwear to
Look at
hold.
the sign.
Oh wait, yeah, we do.
The underwear
Oh
chicken
shit.
coop.
Okay, hold
Hold
on.
on.
Where did I put the
Yeah.
underwear? Hold on, I don't have any in my inventory.
Grab some from my chest.
Oh shit, yeah. Okay.
Would you like to exchange underwear, Rosie?
Oh.
That came out wrong. I met the boxers. I met the boxers.
Uh-oh.
Wait, why is it doing this? It keeps going to my Spanish stuff.
Hmm.
What is underwear in Spanish?
Stop! Stop it! It keeps doing it! Stop it!
Ropa interior.
Can anyone else stick like a screenshot?
Yes.
What button is for a screenshot?
For my
F12.
keyboard is FN and print screen.
Oh. I just took a screenshot.
That's fine. It's a screenshot.
Let me hold on. Can I paste it into chat? Oh, nope.
Let's go.
I will send it to you guys after stream.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Let's go.
Yay!
Yippee!
Underwear union!
In.
I gotta clip this.
Underwear union.
Yes.
Oh,
This is the
Right.
life. And now I disappear with my underwear. Ah,
Goodbye.
farewell.
I disintegrate with the underwear.
Boop.
Thanos snapped.
Gone. Alright. I moved around my stream deck buttons, so now I don't know where any of them are.
Oh no.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for playing tonight.
Mhm.
I had so much fun. I missed you guys.
Ooh.
And yeah, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Yeah, Rosie, I hope you feel better.
Thank you. I'm sorry we had to stop.
No, it's okay.
Don't apologize.
My tummy's feeling weird, so
I hope
Okay.
you both feel better.
thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us, Goosty. And
Yee.
yeah, thank you both for hanging out. I really appreciate y'all.
Mhm.
Yee.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Do you want to stick around while I raid someone, or if not,
Yee.
that's okay. You do? Quack, 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 quack. Alright. Let's look for
Hold on,
someone to
hold on,
raid.
hold on.
Oh, there was
Where
confetti.
is the... Where is it? Hold on. How do I do... Open soundboard?
It shoots out confetti sometimes.
It does.
I don't know why it does, but it makes me happy. It's duck shaped. It's duck
Wait, it is?
shaped. Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, it is.
I love it.
Oh,
It's
now
so cute!
I gotta see
What
this.
about cricket?
Ducks.
None of the other ones have confetti. It's just the duck.
That's so
Well,
funny.
duck is important.
Yes, it is. I love it.
Alright. I found someone to raid. I'm just waiting for the ads to end.
Yippee.
Yeah, we're gonna... Oh, let me type it in first. If I can type. There we go. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. I really appreciate it. Chat, thank you for being here too. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, we're gonna go raid Tommy Fox. And he is streaming with a few friends. They're playing some Pokemon, and they just started. So yeah, copy and paste whichever raid message works for you, and we're gonna go say hi.
Yippee.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Yippee! Yeah, thank you all so much for joining. I hope you have a great day / night / time zone. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.